Hey, what's up, talented teachers? Welcome to Creative Ideas for Teaching English. If you're new to our channel, consider subscribing, sharing, and liking the video so that you give us a kind of support. Today's video, a big thank you for Akram for her supportive words and for her constructive feedback. Thank you so much. And because you have requested talking about our teachers' documents, I came here today to answer your questions. What are the documents that a teacher should have in his or her bag? We are here today to know about the secrets of this small bag. What's inside this bag? Before I start talking about the most important documents that a teacher should have in his or her school bag or bag, I'm gonna leave you with this short video about my personal school bag, or I like to call it a school bag since we're always going to school. So watch this video, then we will meet again. I hope that you've liked this short video, and now it's time to know more about these documents. So the first document was a portfolio with lesson plans inside. Then we talked about yearly plannings. Next, my daily copybook, my marking copybook, my training copybook, a notebook or a planner for a teacher, and finally we talked about some stickers. We will talk about each document aside. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to talk about is the lesson plan. Before we talk about any other thing, we need to understand what's a lesson plan. It is a teacher's detailed description of the course instructions for a lesson. It's his guide for running a particular lesson, and it includes the objectives, which means what are or what the learners are supposed to learn, in addition to how to achieve these objectives. And here we talk about the methods and the procedures that the teacher is following. And it's a way of measuring how well the goals or the objectives were reached. And here we can use formative and summative assessment, talking about tests, homeworks, direct questions, any kind of assessment that the teacher could run. This is the definition of a lesson plan. Now you can ask me, should I stick to that lesson plan no matter what? The answer is no. It depends on the situation. A teacher can change his lesson plan. He can change some activities or some tasks when he, for example, encounters some problems. For example, a learner or learners could not understand this task. It's a bit difficult for them. He may change it right away. Of course, he can change, for example, a lesson plan from one classroom to another. So it's not obligatory to stick to your lesson plan. If there are some, let's say, urgent matters, do it and don't think about something else. When we come to the lesson plan itself, how to prepare your lesson plan, there are plenty of things that you should think about. I'm not going into details, I'm just giving you an overview about the subject. If you want me to talk into details about lesson plans, let me know in the comments down below. So, the first thing is that you need to set an objective for your lesson. And before you set your objective, you need to have an idea about Bloom's taxonomy. Okay, so you need to go right now and check Google for Bloom's taxonomy. And when you set your objective, you have to think about your time management. Of course, the task that you're going to use must suit the time that you're going to present them. For example, if you've got 1 hour, your tasks should work or should match with this time. Tasks should be a variety of tasks with different objectives or sub-objectives, in fact, from easiest to most difficult, from, for example, interact, interpret, and produce. These are the steps. Also, you need to think about the materials that you're going to use inside the classroom. For example, you're going to use visual aids, for example, ICTs like a video, for example, or an audio, for instance. So these you should prepare them before you go into your classroom. You can start your lesson with a warmer, which is the most important part, because here you're going to pave the way for your lesson. And warmers, there is a lot to talk about, and one of the members asked me to talk about that. I will do that with God's will in the coming videos. Motivation, you've got to think about motivation. If your learners are not motivated, your lesson won't be successful. So think about motivation. And in general, you need to make a research about the topic you're going to present in order not to get embarrassed if one of the learners asks you a question that you do not know an answer to. Of course, we are not universal people. We don't know everything. Sometimes we can just use the judo technique or any other kind of techniques so that we get ourselves from these embarrassing situations. What is yearly planning? It is a plan, as it's the name mentions. It is a plan for all the lessons, for all the sessions, in fact, that you're going to have with your class, with your classes. For example, you're going to mention the lessons, you're going to mention the dates or the tests, you're going to mention the exams, for example, the holidays, you're going to talk about the holidays. So everything is included in this plan of the year. You need to have a yearly plan, and you can rely on the ministry one. You can find it in the teacher's guide, or you can even prepare yours if you want, for example, to change one lesson from a place to another, etc. So you've got a kind of freedom to change the yearly planning, yet you stick to the same objectives. Next, we've got the daily copybook. The daily copybook is very important. You have to fill the daily copybook before you go to school. When I was a novice teacher, I did not know that. I go to school, then I fill the daily copybook, and that was wrong. The daily copybook is a summary for your lesson plan. You will write what you intend to do the coming day. So here you may ask me, what if I was absent that day? It's okay. You can just go to the corner for the part where you can write I was absent, and it's okay. Also, if you do not managed to finish a certain part of your lesson, it's okay as well. You can just mention it. You say that I did not finish this part of the lesson, so that when you get back to your daily copybook, you know that with this class you did not finish this part. Many questions are about what do we write exactly on this daily copybook. It's a summary, so you do not need to write a lot of details. Simply you're going to mention the date, of course. You're going to talk about the class. Then you set your project, sequence, and lesson so that you know which lesson, which sequence. It's important. Then you write the objective. Then you set the tasks and a homework or anything that you want to ask your learners about. This is in general. Some teachers may write about the skills, the competencies. Personally, I just mentioned the project, the sequence, the lesson, objective, tasks, and if I have a kind of homework or anything that I want my learners to know about. So this is concerning the daily copybook. Next, we've got the marking copybook. You're going to have a marking copybook to write the marks of your learners. You're going to talk about the evaluation, the tests, the exams. Maybe you've got additional marks. I don't know. So you're free to do that. Here, you are going to pay attention to the evaluation mark. It says that we do not punish learners twice. So we're not going to include the discipline among these the evaluation marks. So you can divide your evaluation mark, for example, about the copybook, the participation, the projects. So you're free to include things that you think that are useful to get to assess your learners and give them this kind of evaluation. Next, we're going to talk about the training copybook. If you've watched the previous video, I have my training copybook, which is very old. It's from 2009. I wrote a lot of information on it. So it's good for you to have this training copybook and keep it for a long period of time. So it's very important to write about all the information that you get during your seminars, meetings, training. So you need this training copybook. Next, we've got a notebook or a planner. Any teacher needs a notebook because there are plenty of things and the mind won't remember all these things. So you need a notebook to write, for example, about something that you want to get for your learners, something that learners miss, anything that you are you have to write about. For example, you've got a plan for your learners, so it's good to have a notebook in hand. Finally, I've talked about stickers. I'm quite sure that many of you were asking themselves, what for these stickers? Well, I found them very useful for learners. For example, when I give them a task, just some kind of motivation. I give them the task, then I move around. Whenever I find a learner who has finished and answered in a good way, I give him a sticker or her a sticker. Then you can just give them more motivation and you ask them, for example, if you gather 5 or 10 stickers, you will get a present. Learners will compete to have these stickers, so they will focus more on your explanation so that they answer tasks correctly to get the stickers. And this is the aim of these stickers. This is in general concerning what a teacher needs in his school bag. You're going to have PDF for these training copybook, daily copybook, marking copybook. I will give you the pictures, so if you're interested to buy these, just contact me at my email, you will find it, or simply you can join us at our Facebook page, Teachers Support Teachers. You will find the link in the description box down below. See you in another video.